All right, here's another coffee chat. And it's not just a normal coffee chat. Today is a coffee chat on my birthday. Yay! I'm 21 years old. Finally old enough to drink in the United States. I knew I'd be doing coffee chat on my birthday, but some things came up recently that I want to talk about. So, first thing was, I have another single. Single is Killer, and I posted a short showing the intro to it a while ago, which at the time I only called it Killer because I wanted to post a short of what I was making, and I was like, oh, this is a killer song intro. And then I posted that, I was like, okay, Killer's the name of the song. And it fit with, I tried to release it on Halloween, but there was some issues with processing and distributing, so it went out later than I thought it would. But still, it's out now. It's an amazing song. It's well written. It has a great guitar solo, in my opinion. I loved writing and recording that. How I go about writing solos usually is I have a track and then I just improvise over it. And when cool stuff comes out, I think, oh, that was cool. How did I play that? The chorus of that song and the bridge to the chorus is a variation on the Royal Road chord progression, which is very much a huge part of Japanese pop music. It's the Royal Road chord progression, but it starts in a different spot. Because the Royal Road normally goes 4, 5, 3, 6. In this case with Killer, it's F, G, E minor, A minor. But the bridge starts it on the E minor, goes to the A minor, and then gives you a 2-5-1, which then goes to the 4, and then to the 5, then the 3, then the 6. And then it kind of doubles up on itself a little bit, which is why you get the I must beg forgiveness. And then you have that, and it almost doubles for another round of I can't amend this. I'm not a great singer, and I'll get more into that a little bit, but for some reason, the screams are the best part of the song. I cannot sing very well, but I can scream well. So anyway, with the release of Killer, I just wanted to give an update on the album that I'm working on. In terms of the goals for Fable, one single a month was too fast. While I was making Killer and trying to get it to release by Halloween, I got super busy with Killer and a bunch of other stuff in my own life. I neglected my own personal care, so I didn't feel good about myself. And the song has issues that if I had taken more time, I probably could have made better. Rushing that stuff is going to make, ultimately, it's going to make me feel worse about my music and my life. And it's going to end up that I put out something that is not as good for other people. I want to respect other people's time. That's why I edit these coffee chats to have kind of snappy cuts. I appreciate people who do watch it, and I want to honor their time. Another thing with the album being one single a month, albums generally don't have more than 3 singles unless they're big albums, so I don't want to continually release singles like that. The album right now, I have 8 songs that are written. Several of them are recorded. There's only 1 or 2 that aren't recorded. But I was able to just strum along on a guitar or on piano and just sing them and stopwatch myself to see how long they are. They're all written right now, and I'm going to make more songs for the album. But there's 8 of them right now, and they have a total runtime of just about 30 minutes. My original goal for an album length is 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to write, and when the story's finished, the story's finished. Speaking of that, the songs that I have, they really seem to be coming together around some specific themes. A lot of what's showing up is telling my own story and my dream to be a musician. So it really is, it's telling a story in a really simple, corny way. But there's also some very choice lyrical decisions that are touching into these deeper topics and underlying themes, which honestly is why I kind of picked the name Fable, is that it's supposed to tell you a story, but there's supposed to be depth for people who want more depth. So I'm really glad that's working out the way that it is. One more topic that I wanted to talk about here is ability and expression, is what I have it written as in my script. Yesterday, when I listened to Killer, I had it on repeat for like several hours while I was working. I really listened to it. I was like, I love this song. I love this song. This is the song that I love. I think it's amazing. When I first released it, I felt bad about it. It feels like the whole internet thing of, I just posted something terrible on the internet, my reputation is gone, my career is gone, my life is over. But essentially, listening back, yeah, I realized I really loved this song. Touching again on, I'm not a very good singer. I got really down on Killer because of that. I needed to listen to it over and over again to start to have this mindset shift of really what I need in order for my dream to become a reality and how I need to progress in order to get there. And I needed to get into this mindset that I need to look forward at what I can do better in the future, to not get stuck on the past and not get stuck in where I've been and really look at where I can go. The other thing was that I cannot let my lack of ability in one area, specifically vocals, make me doubt everything else that I can do. Guitar it's just something for me. I put a lot of time and effort into that. And I'm finally at the point where I can express myself fluently on that instrument. And I can play bass and piano and drums well enough to support that. For some of these things, specifically drums, I've been growing a lot on drums and making interesting stuff. And making stuff because drums are fun. Drums is all about beating things with a stick. There's so much energy behind it. One more thing I want to talk about. I saw a video today by the same guy that I first learned how to play all my scales from on guitar. This video of his was talking about his idea about technicality and your technique in your instrument. He was talking about a lot of students go and learn the instrument and they're like, I want to be able to play all these scales at this tempo and know all these songs and whatever, and be able to do all these hard things on their instrument. And then they get to this point of, well, I'm here technically, but what do I do with it? His point was that so many musicians, successful musicians anyway, have taken the exact opposite approach in that they attempt to express themselves and then they go and practice the technical things that would allow them to express themselves better on their instrument. And that's where I feel like I'm at with vocals. I think I have a lot of potential for vocals. I have a decent range physically, but I have an understanding of my own voice and my own biology to be able to do impressions of characters, which I did a little bit in Killer already, is that in different areas I step into these characters in order to get a specific sound. I'm just not to that point yet where I can step into these characters and maintain good pitch. Some examples of people who focused more on musicality and expression than technique. First one I have here is Mike Portnoy, the drummer for Dream Theater and a couple other groups. I'd seen in an interview with him that from a young age he just tried. He was just trying to do things, and he developed technique that isn't orthodox, but they work for him. Like, he holds one of his sticks backwards and hits the snare with the fat end of the stick. Starting out, he valued the music more than the technicality, and he's one of the most technically proficient drummers ever. Someone else that values expression over technicality is Zakk Wylde, who has played for Ozzy Osbourne and his own group, Black Label Society. I saw in an interview with Zakk Wylde him talking about when he's in the studio, he only practices enough to be able to record whatever it is and then figures out how to play it live. And I've heard that a lot about different people who play and sing at the same time, is that they play something and it starts there, and then they sing something and then they find out how to do it live. Les Claypool from Primus playing Tommy the Cat, playing this crazy slap bass line and singing at the same time. Or Geddy Lee from Rush. There's a lot of bass singers who are praised for that. That's what I wanted to talk about, is talk about Killer a little bit, give an announcement to my people that I'm not going to be releasing singles very fast. I'm going to take some time to focus on the album and focus on the art and really try to get things dialed in. And I also need to go through a point where I did this with guitar, go through a phase where it's just sit down and grind technique over and over again. So that's what I will be going through, is get into a phase of really getting down into it. So in a sense, I'm going to go down into the darkness for a bit. You won't see me for a bit, but hopefully I'll come back out having improved. So with that, farewell and have a fabulous day.